and I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar titled Industry Trends in Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing. I'm going to hand things over to our Cybersecurity Product Manager here at New Horizons, Mr. Buck Chow.
Thank you, Kelly, and I'd also like to welcome everyone to today's webinar. The Product Manager for Cybersecurity at the New Horizons Corporate Office, and today is our 7th out of 10 cybersecurity-focused webinars that New Horizons is hosting in the month of October, which is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. October has been designated as a focus month. This is now in its 15th year as an annual campaign with the goal of raising awareness about the importance of cybersecurity. National Cybersecurity Awareness Month is a collaborative effort between the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and its public-private partners, including the National Cybersecurity Alliance, to raise awareness about the importance of cybersecurity and individual cyber hygiene. New Horizons Cybersecurity Awareness Month is now in our 3rd year as an annual focus month, with the goal of our cybersecurity webinars done in conjunction with our industry partners to provide you with a better understanding of how to stay safer online with input from industry and subject matter experts, with the goal to help enhance your organization's cyber resilience and overall cybersecurity posture. We have Cybersecurity Awareness Month landing pages that you can find on your local New Horizons websites. If you go to newhorizons.com and click on Find a Location, from there you look at promotions and you'll see the Cybersecurity Awareness Month landing pages where you can find a full list of our upcoming cybersecurity webinars. There are several more for this month. Past cybersecurity webinar recordings in case you missed any, along with free downloadable cybersecurity resources. The 10 cybersecurity webinars that New Horizons is hosting this month cover different aspects about today's ever-evolving threat landscape. In today's webinar, we're going to talk about industry trends in vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Our presenter is Wesley Alvarez from ECCouncil. Pardon me. Wesley has over 10 years in the IT field that includes product development and publishing with a focus on Microsoft, CompTIA, Adobe, Cisco, soft skills, and ECCouncil, with 8 years devoted to ECCouncil. Wesley's role at ECCouncil has included managing their network of authorized training partners and other corporate networks, and now focuses on the U.S. academic channel. Welcome, Wesley, and you now have the floor.
Thank you very much, Buck. I appreciate it. Thank you, Kelly. It's great to be here today. In today's session, we're going to be covering validating hands-on skills through ECCouncil's vulnerability assessment and penetration testing track. So first and foremost, I did want to mention we're excited every time Cybersecurity Month comes around, Cybersecurity Awareness Month, to become very active in the community and also support New Horizons as one of our top partners. And with that, this session, we'll proceed to go ahead and get started. So a little bit of information on about me outside of what Buck had mentioned. My name is Wesley Alvarez. I'm the Director of Academics within ECCouncil here in our sunny Tampa, Florida office. If any of you are ever in the area, feel free to stop by. Our office is literally on Tampa Bay, so it's always a good place to be. But I've had the privilege of supporting a lot of our top accredited training center partners in the industry, as well as our secondary and higher education or post-secondary divisions within ECCouncil. So again, it's great to be here with you today. So the outline for today's agenda, what we're going to do in sequence, we'll go over these topics. First, today's cybersecurity employee. Second, new technology. We'll get a little bit into some of the more prominent job roles for red team and pen testing in today's industry. We'll also go over performance-based testing, followed by validating knowledge, and then some remarks on securing your organization from some of the users that have become ECCouncil certified and also gone through some of the hands-on practicals within ECCouncil. So kicking things off, today's cybersecurity employee, how things are changing drastically even in the past last few months, not even to mention the past couple of years, how quickly things actually change. So from business and technology, the threat landscape, which is constantly changing, organizational policies, industry, these are all really the the distractors around the human mind and cybersecurity and what the everyday employee has to deal with at all levels. So what we're going to talk about a lot today is the different types of environments outside in the industry and internal that are affecting employees as we go through the process. So times have changed quite a bit in a couple of different ways, and when we look at enhanced threats, but also motivated attackers. So focusing on enhanced threats first, cloud, mobile, and IoT, right? These have been the top buzzwords on how things are changing as technology advances, the vulnerability threat landscape also enhances. So how do we keep those things secure, and how do we put those into, how do we train employees and put that into proper business practice, but also how do we fight motivated attackers? Now, if we look at this list, we're going to see malicious insiders, organized crime, hacktivists, terrorists, and the list goes on, sponsored attacks even. These are the things that are becoming more prominent and more targeted to really exploit organizations, and ultimately, as we fight cybercrime, these teams and these tactics are becoming more prominent in today's industry. So we're going to take a look on how to prepare to fight those things. But business and technology, we mentioned that business and technology, things are advanced so quickly, changing so quickly. I always like to focus on what I think are, frankly, sexy things in the industry, right? We look at Tesla. In today's industry, right? We look at Tesla Model S from 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. Wow, it's got this crazy dashboard. When you go in there, you can see all the electronics and the technology that goes into it, which is very appealing. A very, very slick car, but whatever is out there can always be hacked, right? Nothing is unhackable. So now, after Tesla Model S comes out and all these different types of features and advantages that are so appealing to many of us, we see hackers can steal a Tesla Model S in seconds by cloning the key fob. All right, it isn't just Tesla. You can see below McLaren, Karma, and Triumph are also included in these for creating kind of electronic cars, and there's many more that are added to the list as well. So as we try to innovate, and technology is really advancing, so is the vulnerabilities in the threat landscape. So how do we take this and put this into an organizational perspective, right? Take a look at this chart. Everything you're seeing on the outside are really threats. How does a standard organization train people to fight those threats? So starting from the inside out. So you see the organization, you see the database, file servers, authorization servers, really the list goes on, and then you're looking on the outside, all of these different factors that are out there that are ongoing threats. So malware, denial of service, SDN attacks, web application attacks, impersonation, insider threats, physical security. There are so many things that a standard organization has to keep track of. Also, noting the fact that the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer, has to manage and maintain all of these processes, including the teams of pen testers, including the teams of network admins, and including all of the additional security teams that oversee the tools to really maintain a healthy security environment. So if you've seen ECCouncil blogs and tech talks in the past, you'll see primarily there's about 1 in 10 organizations that are confident that they can detect an attack once it happens. The other 9 aren't so sure. So again, we're going to talk about how to train pen testers through the vulnerability assessment and pen testing track to contribute to your organizations and add to a healthy cybersecurity landscape. Again, the #1 issue globally, cybercrime. So we take a look at just a couple of stats here. 1 in 6 cybercrimes globally are by cyber thieves. 1 million new malwares are discovered every single day, and 1% of global earnings are lost to cyber criminals. So the issues are increasing. The number of really millions of dollars that are affected on an annual basis by cyber attacks is growing into the billions. It's just an ongoing threat. So let's talk about what we're hearing from the Chief Information Security Officers at organizations. So at ECCouncil, we like to provide resources to add some intel and essentially some insight into the minds of everyday CISOs that are leading some of the top organizations across the world. So here's some information on white papers. As you can see, why are so many companies getting hacked? A few others, wargaming for chief information security officers, insider threat reports, and many more. There's a link at the bottom right-hand side of this slide so you can access really unlimited resources to CISO intel. But this is going to give you some insight of what the executive minds and the leadership are saying today about the threat landscape and why the need for pen testers is so important. So if we look at the red team job role checklist, or what's in demand, so if you're familiar with the red team, blue team type tactics, I would say red team has always been kind of more popular. It seems to be the offensive side, the more fun side. You get to exploit, you get to attack. It's just, in the concept of it in our everyday lives is just a lot more appealing. So at ECCouncil, we developed the vulnerability assessment and pen testing track. It incorporates a number of certifications and different types of practical assessments, which we'll cover in just a moment. But first, everything we do at ECCouncil is related to actual job roles. And we'll talk a little bit more about the job role mapping that VAPT is directed towards. But let's take a look at the job role checklist of what's most popular and in demand for red team. So security analysts, pen testers, security consultants, really the list goes on, as you can see, network security engineers, red team pen testers, cybersecurity analysts. These are really what's in demand, what are the top organizations are requiring that they need. They're lacking in these areas. Not only are they lacking pen testers, but they're lacking the new skill sets of 2018. So if we take a look at the new skill sets, what hiring managers are actually looking for, and frankly, as you can see to the right-hand side, it's all about hands-on tactical knowledge and skills. Employers are going to want to know, all right, if I'm hiring personnel, how much do I have to invest in them? How much do they already know? How much of an asset can they be to my organization today, rather than me putting them through the next few years of a training plan to get to where I need them to be. So if we take a look, the VAPT track is going to cover all of the most in-demand skills, including IoT security, vulnerability assessments, AI and machine learning, cloud security, and malware protection. These are all heavily baked into the VAPT track. Now, I'm sure a lot of questions that many of you get on a daily basis are, I want to get into pen testing, or what do I do if I just, I'm starting off learning networking? What is the track to become a pen tester, and how do I get there? Right, that's what's in demand. I want to make sure I have the skills to be at that level, and it takes time, but it's definitely something that we have mapped out within ECCouncil. So what is the way forward? So at ECCouncil, we start off at job role tracks at a fundamental level, covering end user security. And from that, we dive right into network defense, right? Blue teaming network defense, how to manage and maintain a network and network security from an operational standpoint. So monitoring wireless traffic, trends, using different types of tools to establish a healthy network environment. We dive from network defense straight into ethical hacking. So it's a very offensive course. It's not, many of you know it as Certified Ethical Hacker, not our pen testing course, but a very offensive course. And then from ethical hacking, the next step forward is pen testing, which we cover in our security analyst and licensed penetration tester master credentials. So this is the path that we have directed on what's the proper way forward when covering penetration testing, and individuals who are either looking to skill up or start from networking and ending in pen testing. Here's a look at the vulnerability and pen testing track, or VAPT as we call it within ECCouncil. So a few things you're going to notice. If you look on the left-hand side, you see on the bottom left-hand side, you see core, advanced, and expert. These are the categories that we place these certifications in. So for example, we start off at core at what we just talked about with Certified Network Defender and Network Defense. We dive from that right into ethical hacking, right? Your red team course, your very offensive course. You're studying the latest hacking techniques, a very hands-on intensive course, about 60% hands-on to 40% lecture time, as are all of these courses. but you're covering denial of service, you're covering mobile application hacking, you're flooding networks, you're doing social engineering, hacking servers, and really so much more. So from CEH, that certification course, you move right into what we've now added as Ethical Hacker Practical. Now, we talked about the VAPT track including hands-on components, right? Performance-based testing in an environment that is real. It's in real time, an environment that is mimicking also a network environment that you would experience as an individual employed acting out your cybersecurity jobs and tasks and responsibilities. So Ethical Hacker Practical is going to take all the knowledge that you've learned in CH, and it's going to put you into a timed environment. Now you don't have any rules, restrictions, except for the questions that you're going to have to answer and the objectives that you're going to have to accomplish. So we'll cover that in just a moment, what that actually looks like, what the scope of that is. So from Ethical Hacker Practical, you move into our Security Analyst course. This is into the advanced realm. ECSA is our true pen testing course. Now we supplement that also with Security Analyst Practical, above and beyond ECSA. The same concept, you take the standard ECSA pen testing course, you move right into the practical component, and then from Security Analyst Practical, you now move into Licensed Pen Tester Master. Now, one of the things we noticed when we rolled out our VAPT track is there were individuals that wanted the LBT credential, wanted that result, and it was relevant to their career and not only their existing job roles, but what they wanted to accomplish in the future. But the pass rate was incredibly low. So we've incorporated the advanced pen testing courses you're seeing below LBT Master to build that bridge and the skills and reinforce those skills prior to taking the LBT Master exam. So what you're seeing on screen is the practical exams. These are all exams that are in timed environments that are challenging you at the highest levels, and you're getting a task and no instruction, and you have to accomplish that task and move on to the next one. LBT is our highest level of pen testing, and it's at the expert level. So we're going to take a look at each of these one by one. But first, how have we mapped out the VAPT track? So those of you that are familiar with the NICE framework, we've actually mapped out 3 different categories for VAPT. So you can see on the left-hand side, protect and defend, securely provision, and analyze. These are concepts that have been incorporated by ECCouncil. We've done the full mapping into these job roles down to the knowledge, skills, and abilities, and also down to the knowledge units. For that mapping, please contact your New Horizons representative, and they'll be able to give you a document of the full NIST-NICE mapping to ECCouncil's ecosystem. It's about a 400-page document. It'll keep you entertained for hours. All right, so government and military. What does VAPT offer for military? These are actually military-grade credentials. I posted a link in there to view our government and military training acknowledgments and recognition, but we're going to take a look at that firsthand right now. So, government and military training. How is VAPT recognized? How is this track recognized? So as you can see, ECCouncil is dedicated to working with the US DoD and bringing the highest standards of training. So we can see on this our ANSI 17024 credentials, CND, CH, CHFI, and CCISO. Now what's included in DoD 8570? So you can see CH is on there at multiple levels. But if we take a closer look, and there's some links out to the NICE mapping and additional DoD standards mapping, but if we take a look at each military division, so what we're going to see are the actual job roles that are mapped and recognized by the U.S. military. So first and foremost, we see the Navy. So we're going to see which ECCouncil certifications are recognized, but more importantly, which job roles those fit into. So for those of you that are familiar with the COOL programs, the Credentialing Opportunities Online programs, these are what are recognized. These are the job roles that are recognized by ECCouncil certifications for individuals that are looking to excel in their current roles or apply for promotion. So we highlight all of these job roles also for the Army and also for the Marines. So you'll see CEH, ECSA, and LPT are in just about all of these mappings. Great. So moving forward, we talked about network defense with Certified Network Defender. So what is CND? What does the course content contain? Who is it for? We break everything down to the actual job roles again. So when we look at who is it for, this is going to be network administrators, security administrators, security engineers, network analysts, and so much more. We look at the objectives. So the objectives of this course, again, this is the first course in the sequence of VAPT, how to protect and detect and respond to network attacks, network defense fundamentals, and application of network security controls, and so much more. There's exam information on here. We encourage you, if this is of interest and you have either yourself or you have employees that are looking to start at this level, contact your New Horizons representative for either a demo of the lab environment, of the lab course, or detailed information on the course, and also complimentary skills assessments that we offer at ECCouncil. These are 50-question, 2-hour skills assessments to kind of vet employees prior to taking the course. From CND, again, we move right into Certified Ethical Hacker. This is typically our flagship certification, or what we consider core certification at ECCouncil. We believe everything naturally from our different types of tracks on the offensive and defensive sides or specialist sides all stem from CEH. So here we're mentioning what is CEH, some of the course content. Again, who's it for? Security auditors, professionals, site administrators, and there's a lot of emerging tactics in CEH version 10, which just launched in March of earlier this year. So that was March 14th to be exact. So we look at what's new in CEH v10. If you're a current member of ours, and if you've taken CEH and certified before, what's new in version 10? So you're going to see some of the same themes and concepts that we covered that are trending on the top list of pen testers in today's job role environment. So we see IoT hacking, we see cloud, we see the latest malware, we see AI, machine learning, right? These are right in tune with what the industry is demanding for today. Now, Certified Ethical Hacker, or CEH Ethical Hacker Practical, is going to put all of these into perspective. So a lot of questions we get when we launched this VAPT track was, all right, is CEH Practical or Ethical Hacker Practical, is that a course? The answer is no. Ethical Hacker Practical is an exam, and it's an extension, it's its own certification, but it's an extension of CEH. Part of the reason we invented these practical exams is because a lot of the organizations that we work with were saying, all right, great, someone can take a CEH exam, become certified, and that we still have to vet that they have the practical and hands-on knowledge. It's a great benchmark certification, but how do we vet that? So we've taken all the concepts in CEH in that course, all the attack vectors, all of the knowledge and skills and abilities, we've baked that into Ethical Hacker Practical to challenge students. So this is a 6-hour exam. This exam incorporates 20 different practical challenges. So if you look over to the right, so we see CEH Practical Certified Professionals can, and they're going to be able to demonstrate that they know all of these different elements, and they're going to have to do that in a timed environment. So let's take a look at a couple of different components of what CEH Practical would appear. So for those of you that are familiar with the iLabs environment, or how information has been presented to kind of teach and remediate students that are going through the course, remediate the educational elements, CEH Practical challenges you, but it erases all of the general instruction that you're used to seeing. So if we look on the right-hand side of that screenshot, you're going to see an exam portion, but that doesn't have any of the guidance that you get when taking the regular course. You just have a task. So for example, when we see CEH Practical, a prospective question could be step 1, MySQL runs on port 3306, which should perform a regular scan on the network to look for machines within 3306 open. So to perform the scan, the issue the syntax has using nmap, and it's found that a machine has port 3306 open. So now, again, this is performance-based testing. We go on to step 2. Now the challenge is find the accurate operating system result of the machine. It should have an SMB port 445 open. So check for the SMB port by issuing the syntax using nmap again, addressing the target machine. And then step 3, since you found it was open, it's going to lead you to a result. So you're going to have to answer the question again using not any direction on tools that you use, but using your own knowledge and experience. So the answer and result, Windows Server 2008, after identifying the operating system, these are the type of challenges that we're incorporating, and they get progressively harder as you move on in CH Practical. This feeds right into the ECCouncil Certified Security Analyst course. So this is our true pen testing course. A lot of people say, well, I've taken CH, that seemed like a pretty offensive course to me. It's not our true pen testing course, actually. Our security analyst courses. So if we look at some of the really the new concepts in ECSA version 10, we've done all the job role mappings for pen testers. We've put in all of the pen testing templates, right? So this course isn't just about pen testing and more intensive on tool analysis, but you're going to have to actually complete a full-out pen testing report, document it, show that you have the knowledge and experience and the communication skills to prove what's going on, prove that you know what's going on in the environment and you've run a successful pen test. After that knowledge portion, you're going to be moving into the practical environment, similar to what we just saw for CH. And this is a 12-hour exam. So there's 8 challenges that are baked into here. This 12 hours, this is split up into 2 6-hour sessions. So ECSA Practical or Security Analyst Practical is going to challenge you at the advanced level of completing those tasks as you're moving along in this track. And then finally, as I had mentioned before, the Advanced Penetration Testing course. We had a number of professionals and students that were moving from the ECSA track right into LBT Master. We'll cover LBT Master in a second, but LBT Master is an 18-hour exam that's split up into 3 different 6-hour sessions. That's a lot of time to be committed to all of these challenges that you're going to have to complete really at the highest level with no guidance, only your assignments and challenge information. So we've built the APT course, Advanced Penetration Testing course. You can see the module outline on screen. And this is going to cover guidance and instruction that will help you succeed within the LBT Master track. This course is heavily into practical components and challenges. Even in the standard APT course, you're going to spend a lot of time in the labs. I would say probably about 80% of the course, you're going to be in the lab range, running different types of various pen testing attacks. You're going to be configuring a large amount of virtual machines, doing a lot of tool analysis. This is our top pen testing preparatory course, leading into the LBT Master, which is our highest credential in pen testing. So again, the exam information, that exam is 18 hours split up into 6 different sessions, but the outcomes are mastery of pen testing skills, the ability to perform a repeatable methodology, a commitment to the code of ethics for pen testing, and also so much more that's not even listed here. I'd encourage you, if you don't know a lot about the LPT Master credential, or if you don't know anyone who is an LPT Master in the industry, they're not hard to find because they wear it proud. So what we'll take a look at are some of the VAPT professionals, who these professionals are employed at that have actually gone through this track. So if we look at the track as a whole, the outcomes and the job roles. So IA Security Officer, IS Analyst or Administrator, Security Analyst, Security Officers, Auditors, Analysts, etc. So these are going to be the primary roles that VAPT will suit and best fit Now, going back to the NIST NICE framework, to take a closer look at these, I would encourage you to go on our site or contact your New Horizons representative, get the full mapping of the VAPT track. So take a look at CEH and ECSA and LBT and look at those key outcomes. Again, what we've done is we've mapped these certifications and the objectives within those certifications, also the exam objectives, to the knowledge, skills, and abilities within each NIST NICE job role framework. So securing your organization, how do we know that this stuff actually works and is making a difference? So let's take a look at what others are saying. This is this is a staple of what we do at ECCouncil, not only certifying, but learning how these certifications have affected the lives of others, have affected their careers, their organizations, and the industry, right? Because our goal is making a safer industry, making a safer and more secure industry. So I would encourage you, there's a link there that says click here to access. That's going to take you to ECCouncil testimonials. So you'll see CND, CEH, ECSA, and LPT master testimonials from individuals across many Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 organizations that have gone through this track and are giving honest feedback. This is how they've been affected by this track, how it's changed their mindset and their everyday job roles, and how they've contributed to their organizations. So we went through a lot of information all at once. Really appreciative of your time today covering the VAPT track. I would encourage you, if you'd like to learn more about the practical exams, contact your New Horizons representative. This is, again, these launched on March 14th of this year. It's unlike anything that we've done within ECCouncil before. If you are an existing member and have not attempted practical exams, we encourage you to do so and just find out a little bit more about what they're all about. So this is where the industry is headed. This is where we believe in ECCouncil. The reason why we created these practical assessments is because employers were demanding them, saying, all right, we want to make sure we can validate not only that someone can take an exam and multiple choice and have that benchmark certification, but also perform to the highest standards, especially in pen testing. So we encourage you to contact your New Horizons representatives for more information. New Horizons has been a long-standing premier partner of ECCouncil. We've worked together to really educate and certify thousands and thousands of people across the globe and change not only their everyday lives, but their contributions to the cybersecurity community. So with that, I thank you very much for your time, and I will pass this back to Buck and Kelly as well, and we look forward to speaking with you and answering your questions. Right now, we'll open it up to any questions that you've had throughout this time.
Thank you so much, Wesley. We always love having you speak on behalf of ECCouncil and New Horizons. While you are all thinking of your questions, feel free to type those in at any time right now. We'll go ahead and stay on the line for the next few minutes to answer those over audio. Also want to remind you all, as Wesley mentioned, please contact your local New Horizons for any questions or any security training that you would like to begin taking, as well as you can go on our website at newhorizons.com. If you aren't familiar with your local New Horizons, you can do a zip code search there to find the center nearest you. And you can also find our entire cybersecurity training and certifications listed on there as well. We do have a number of webinars coming up. So if you visit newhorizons.com, click on the webinars link, and you will see our upcoming sessions. You can also view any past webinar recordings. So any webinars that you weren't able to join us for, we have a library of over, over 100 past webinar recordings, and these are all complimentary to you. So I highly recommend you guys go and view those as well. All right, Wesley, we do have a question here. This person says they are an experienced IT engineer with no experience in security, and their field is in transition and training is expensive. So they're researching what is worth the investment to get into security and are wondering where they should start.
Thank you, Kelly. Great question. So that's really a common question we get at ECCouncil. Where do I start? What's the best place? I would suggest first and foremost, looking at the outcomes of any program that you're looking to either take, to skill up or retool or certify in. Those outcomes, make sure those outcomes are in line with your job roles and your career aspirations, right? So if you're in security engineer, for example, and you're looking to get on more heavily into the cyber side, I'd recommend first utilize as many free resources as you can. I know New Horizons representatives have a lot of different types of assessments or information, quick tips when you're selecting either a course or a career path. But I would say even at ECCouncil, we offer assessments for free online that are general basic network security assessments leading into ethical hacking and even pen testing. So I would first make sure your career aspirations are aligning with the actual outcomes and objectives of anything that you're doing. And then secondly, see what resources are out there where you can kind of test your skills up front. The last thing you want to do, and we see this happen often, is dive into a course that is not for you or is really not highlighting your skill set and is challenging at a different level. I had mentioned before that the LBT master credential, we had a lot of people that, I mean, quite frankly, it's a cool label, but it's also a mastery label. We're challenging people at very intense levels in pen testing. So there was a lot of people that took that course that failed miserably. So again, suggesting just making sure it's in line with your career path and utilizing some of the free resources out there to continue to provide you with some guidance.
All right. Thank you so much, Wesley. That will actually conclude today's session. We don't have any more questions. So Wesley, thank you again for joining us. We always love having you come and do webinars and speak on behalf of ECCouncil.
Thank you very much.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. As mentioned before, I will be sending you a link to today's session recording so you can view it at any time, as well as a PDF of the PowerPoint presentation. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you'll join us for future webinars. Take care. Have a great day.